We have a serious problem with people fluffing up things that are not actually realistically problems within our country, while they ignore and cover up the real issues. It's almost like some of these people really enjoy watching people starve to death and being tortured by wrongfully taking their children and all these other problems that we have, not just politically, but within our court system as well as religiously. One of the issues that I have here is that Biden invited George Floyd's family to the White House. George Floyd was a convicted felon who threatened a pregnant woman and held a gun to her belly when he was being arrested. He was also in the process of distributing counterfeit money when he was arrested and died of an overdose while sitting in front of everybody and was being restrained by law enforcement. Nobody's talking about the truth and the facts on the situation with George Floyd, which is very disturbing to me. It's almost like a repeat of what happened with Obama with Black Lives Matters, where they've brought this criminal into the White House and they're pretending that he deserves to be on a pedestal in order to fuel the rest of the criminals and encourage them in our country, which is a disgrace. If only these people knew how the people around the world were looking at all of us and laughing at America, especially knowing that the Floyds, they're not even Native American. They're claiming to be African. So, with the whole race issue, we're not even defending the natives of our own country. Their focus is on this one little group of Africans who they're not even native to America. And, there are some of us Native Americans who have said, if you don't like it here and you want to trash stuff, go back to Africa and do that. We're peaceful people and we don't want none of that trouble here. My point here is this. We've got people who are neglecting the real issues of starvation, kids being wrongfully removed from their homes, families being torn apart, religion not being honored within the home as far as the family foundation goes. But you're focused on this dude who passed counterfeit money and while he was overdosing on drugs that were in his system. That's part of the problem that we have with America. It's a lot of the reason people have a lot of animosity. We've also got to look at people like Gretchen Whitmer, who makes rules and refuses to follow them. You've got to stop and think, if she's not following her rules, how many other rules is she breaking that you're not seeing behind closed doors? She's already been labeled as somebody who uses and manipulates the Department of Health and Human Services system in order to get what she wants and to try to control people. In fact, she was governor at the time that my daughter was wrongfully removed, and I happen to know that she took part in that and did it to be malicious because I don't agree with her political stand, which is not a reason to take anybody's children. Not at all. If that's the case, then they should take everybody's kids because nobody's going to agree on everything all the time. The problem here is we're using things to neglect what we really should be focusing on. Instead of focusing on those things, the things that we're using to neglect them with are so self-destructive and so ridiculous. It's a disgrace to our country and to our people. And it's time to do something to make it stop. This is one of the reasons that people are so frustrated and angry at the system. Because when people do speak up and say, hey, you're not following the rules, you need to go. Rather than deal with that, they try to make excuses and deflect the attention into something that really doesn't matter in order to try to cover up what they've done. Gretchen Whitmer has also promoted people verbally who abuse the system and break the rules. She tried to tell people to give Cynthia Anderson a chance. This is the same person who threatened people. She's a GOP, or she's a rep from Michigan that was fired and let go. She was terminated because she told people to go after Trump supporters like Maxine Waters did. They should have done the same thing to Maxine Waters rather than continue to allow her to do anything within our governmental system, as prejudicial as she's become. With God's love, there's some of these people who are hollering racism are the very ones who are racist and not following the rules. So it's time to consequence them like they're doing to everybody else who doesn't follow the rules. So I call for Gretchen Whitmer to be arrested, since she has a continuous habit of not following the rules. She should go to jail like everybody else has to. Isn't that what she did to the barber? And to so many other people, because they didn't follow her lockdown rules. Why isn't she in jail? She should be. So should some of these other politicians who are making these rules but not following them. It's time to hold them accountable like they hold us. Then we'll have real justice. With God's love, God bless America. Have a blessed day. Put the blinders back on Lady Justice and back the badge.